here at 21st Yoga in Salt Lake City, Utah. And we're going to be focusing on the shoulders and a little bit of core strength. And really, my intention for us today is to connect. And I would really invite you to show up to your mat today exactly as you are, without judgment, without any have-tos or shoulds. And really this is about feeling into the breath and into the body. And you can spend the whole entire practice in child's pose. You can, I'm going to give you lots of options, and so please just meet yourself as you are, with compassion and kindness. And I'm so happy that you're joining me this morning. So go ahead and arrive at your seat, everybody. And let's start our practice this morning with just a moment in stillness. Allow the eyes to close if that's comfortable for you. And tuning into the breath and the body. Allowing the shoulders to soften just a little bit down, away from the ears. A slight uplift of the heart. And a lengthening through the crown of the head. You might take a moment just to feel into the ground, this solid earth beneath you. You might even touch the ground with your fingertips if that feels accessible to you. The parts of the body that are rooted, your sits bones, the lower legs. And as you draw your next full breath in through the nostrils, I'd like for you to pause at the top of that in-breath and just let a sigh out your mouth. Let it cleanse and release. Maybe soften through the neck and the shoulders a little bit. And one more just like that, a full breath in through the nostrils, pausing at the top of that in-breath. And exhaling out the mouth, letting it release, sigh. And then just come into a natural, easy breath. If Ujjayi breath is familiar to you and you want to work with that, that's fine. And on your next in-breath, everybody, let's go ahead and extend the arms out wide, reaching up tall. Touch the palms together and gather the hands together at the heart on the exhale. And then as you inhale, extend the arms out in front of you and then open the arms as wide as you can. Opening up into the space. And then exhale, gather the hands once again back together at the heart. And then inhale the arms straight up again, reaching fingertips to sky. And exhale, release the arms back down. Fingertips touch the earth. Good. And again, like that, inhale, stretch arms up, lengthen and lift. And then hands come together, heart center as you exhale. Inhale, extend the arms forward and reach the arms out. It's connecting to all of us that are practicing today. Open the arms wide. And then gather all of this energy back to your own heart center. Extending back up to the sky, reach up tall. And then exhale, release, arms back down. Fingertips touch the earth. Good. One more time like that. Everybody stretch back up, lengthen and open. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Extend the arms forward. Again, open the arms wide. Reaching. And then back together, gather the hands to heart center. And then reach back up on in-breath, lengthen. And exhale, hands come back to the earth. And next in-breath, everybody stretch the right arm up alongside the ear, reach up tall. And then exhale up and over into a side bend. And you can plant that left hand on the ground up to the side, lengthening into the right ribs and side body. Put a slight bend in your left elbow, let the shoulder draw away from the ear, and do your best to let your head and your neck relax over toward the left shoulder. Taking another full breath here, lengthening up and over into the side bend. And then make your way back up. We're going to stretch the arms out wide. And then take the right arm underneath your left for eagle arms. If that's a little bit much, you can just wrap opposite shoulders here. Just opening up into the mid to upper back, top to the shoulders. And take another full breath here, lifting up a little bit through the elbows, pressing forearms forward. And for a little extra stretch, you can take this forward, bringing your forearms down toward the floor. And take 2 more deep breaths here. And then let's bring it back upright, lifting up to the fingertips. And then unwind the arms. And send the left arm up, stretch up tall, lengthen and reach. And then up and over into your side bend. So same thing here, everybody, the right hand on the ground, maybe a little bend in your right elbow, lengthening into the left ribs and side body. Maybe just relax a little bit here through the neck, through the jaw, as we open up this side. Good, and then come back upright. The arms will spread back out wide. Left arm underneath your right for eagle arms. Lift up a little bit through the elbows and the forearms. And again, you have that option of grabbing a hold of opposite shoulders here. And taking another full breath. And you have that option of diving forward, bringing your forearms down toward the floor out in front of you. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Good, and then make your way back up. Lifting up to the fingertips. Unwind the arms, stretch the arms back out wide. Reach up, lengthen, and then release the hands back to the floor. Good. If you're sitting on a block or a cushion, go ahead and remove that, put it to the side. Bring your hands behind you and uncross your legs. Plant your feet about the width of your mat, a little uplift of the heart, the chest. And then let's exhale, knees to the right. Just like a little windshield wiper twist. Let your pelvis and your hips move with the twist. Back up through center. And then over to your left. And do a couple more of those at your own pace. If this is tricky for your wrists or your shoulders, you can do this reclined on your back. Or just modify as you need to here. Getting some movement and mobility into the hips and the lower spine. And then we're going to make our way to hands and knees. So take a moment to get there. Shifting forward toward the hands and the knees. And as you come forward, everybody, take a moment just to feel the ground, the pads of the fingers, the palms rooting into the earth. Find that neutral spine. And then on your exhale, you're going to tuck the tail, lift the belly, round the spine, chin to chest. And then inhale, open up through the heart, go the other way, spinal extension. This is called cat-cow, moving back and forth with the breath. mobilizing the spine and muscles of the back. Inhale to open. And one more of these, rounding the spine as you exhale. Inhale, open and lift up through the heart. And then come back to neutral, back to center. We're going to send the hips back just a little bit toward the heels, and then shift the hips over to the left, and then forward toward the wrists, and then over to the right, and then back towards your heels. So we're doing some hip circles here. Do a couple more rounds this direction. And you're welcome to take it all the way to child's pose as you go back. And you might even come all the way to a little cobra. As you come forward, you can explore that range of motion. And let's pause and go the other way. So move your hips counterclockwise instead of clockwise. And again, you can kind of push the edges here, moving, finding that range of motion. And let's make our way back up to hands and knees, neutral spine. Feel the ground with the hands. Tuck the toes under, shift the hips back just a little bit, and you're going to start to push into the ground with the hands, the palms and pads of the fingers. Lift your knees off of the mat, hover there for a moment, connect to core, and then straighten up the legs a little bit into your first downward facing dog. And you're welcome to keep the knees fairly bent, or you can start to straighten them out a little bit at a time. Maybe pedaling the floor with the feet, shifting your weight from one heel to the floor and then the other. And after a little bit of movement and shifting here, see if you might find a place where you can land, where you can arrive and feel both stability and ease in your posture. Relax and release the neck as best you can. And let's take 2 more full breaths here in this downward facing dog. Good. And then on your next exhale, we're going to go ahead and bend the knees and look forward toward the hands. You can step, hop, walk forward toward the top of the mat. Lengthen to a flat back as you inhale, spinal extension. Exhale, fold. And then anchor the feet. Let's come all the way up to standing. Put a little bend in the knees, root through the feet, stretch the arms wide, reach up tall, lengthen and lift. And then bring the hands back together, heart center. Good. Pause here for just a moment, everybody. Maybe let your eyes close. Feel the ground, feel the earth through both feet. Good, and as you exhale, release the hands, the arms come down along your sides. Shoulders back, heart lifted. Inhale, reach and lengthen the arms back up. And grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. You're going to give a little tug on your right wrist, reach up and over toward your left side. And you might shift your hips just a little bit to the right as you lean into this side body stretch. Take another breath here and then bring it back up through center and switch. Grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand, pull up and over, coming into your side bend, side body stretch, grounded and stable through the feet. Shifting your hips a little bit to the left. Feel into that side body. Good. And then back up through center. Reach up tall, everybody. And then exhale, dive forward and fold. Uttanasana. Lengthen out your spine as you inhale. So chest and belly lengthen away from the thighs. And then as you exhale, feel your hands on the ground. Shift this out of the way. Hands on the ground, step to plank pose, upper push-up. So So really push the ground away here. Pull in, inner thighs strong and engaged, lift at the belly. Now you can always go directly to down dog from here or come to the knees. If you're wanting to move through a chaturanga here, shift the body forward just a little bit. And then on exhale, lower down, don't let the shoulder heads drop forward. Let's come all the way to the floor. Point the toes so the toenail side of the foot is down. Shoulders back, open up into a little baby cobra. Doesn't have to be huge. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears, elbows point up and back. And then exhale, downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths here. Relaxing through the neck. Allowing the tail to lift a little bit and the heels to start to settle. You might even lift and spread the toes if that's available to you. Most importantly here, just tuning in to your own breath. And allowing the breath to move you in subtle ways, inviting space, inviting opening, newness. Maybe on this last exhale here, everybody send a sigh out your mouth and let it release, let it cleanse. And look forward to the top of the mat. Bend your knees, step or hop forward. Top of the mat, extend your spine long and lengthen. Exhale, fold back in. Ground your feet, we'll bend in the knees, come all the way up to standing. Reach up, lengthen, maybe a little mini back bend here. And then hands come together in front of the heart. Take the arms back up on in-breath, stretch up and lengthen. And then bend your knees and sit into a chair pose. Really firing up the legs here, extending through the arms. If you want a little more freedom in the shoulders, goalpost the arms, or even take the arms back and spread through the fingers. You want to keep the thighs and the feet parallel. Take 2 more breaths, sit a little bit deeper, see if you can pull your thighs back some. And then exhale, dive forward, folding it in. Lengthen at your spine on your in-breath. Step or hop back into your chaturanga. And the chaturanga is always optional. You can skip it anytime. Lower down if you're moving in that direction. Open up to a cobra, sphinx, or up dog, and then downward facing dog. So as you come back to your downward facing dog, take a moment to feel into your foundation, your stability and grounding. We're going to take the right leg back, behind, and up into a 3-legged downward dog. Try to ground your left heel to the floor. If you need to, you can even walk your hands in just a little bit. Stabilize and root. Feel into the ground with your right hand. And we're going to walk the left hand back, touch the fingertips on the floor. So you're kind of coming into a little tripod balance. And we're going to try to keep that right hand and left foot rooted. Maybe unweight this left hand, bring it back along your side for a teeter-totter balance. Maintain that container of your down dog. Take 1 more breath here. The left hand will come back to the floor. Pull your right knee in toward the chest. Step your foot through, and let's come down to the back knee. You can pad that knee if that's helpful. You could flip over this edge of your mat and place it down, or if you have a blanket or a cushion. Square off your hips, hands to your right thigh, lengthening up through the spine. And let's stretch and lengthen the arms up. Take a full breath here in this low lunge. Reaching up. Let's bend the elbows here. Squeeze inner thighs toward that midline. Deepen into the lunge a little bit and open up through the chest. Take 2 more breaths here. If that feels like it's a little much, just bring it back a little bit. And then let's bring the hands back to the floor. You can use blocks here. We're going to pick up the back knee, walk the hands forward just a little bit, pick up this back leg, and coming into a standing split. So you can keep the fingertips on the floor here, use blocks, or you might even take the right hand and forearm back behind the calf and fold it in. Forehead toward shin. Take one more breath here. Everybody lengthen up through that top leg. We're going to step the left foot to the back of the mat. Take the left hand to the ground, and you might use a block here. Let me turn around this way. So left hand to your block or to the ground. And we're going to pull that right hip back away, kind of away from the knee. Push into the block with your left hand and take a twist, twisting lunge. And as the left hand grounds into the floor or block, start to peel open just a little bit more, opening up through the heart. Take 2 more breaths here. Right hip kind of away from the shoulder. And then release out of that. Right hand to the floor. Sorry, this is new to me. So step back to a plank pose. Shift your weight into your right hand. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot, coming into side plank or Savasana. You can always come down to the right knee for support or to the right forearm. If you want a little extra challenge here, try extending the left arm forward alongside the ear. Lift the hips up and float this left leg up. Take another full breath here. Bring it back to plank pose. And we're going to come right down to the knees. Whew, the knees a little wider than the hips. Send your right arm out and up. Opening the chest. And then thread the needle. So your right arm will go underneath your left, coming into this twist. And back to your breath, everybody. Slow it down a little bit. Unwind out of that and send the right arm back out and up and bring the hand back to the floor. Reset your hands. You can bring the knees back in and tuck your toes under, making your way back to a downward facing dog. Hips lift up, belly strong, grounded and stable. So as you're ready, deliberately, slowly extend the left leg back behind you. Reach it up. 3-legged down dog. Don't lose the container or the basic shape of this pose. And try to ground your right heel. If you need to, walk your hands back a little bit. And then your right hand is going to walk the fingertips back to about the middle of your mat. Balance yourself here. And then maybe take the right hand away from the floor. You can float the arm back along your side. Keep everything reined in, hug toward that center. Take another full breath here. And then right hand comes back to the floor. Pull your left knee in, step the foot through, low lunge. So your back knee to the floor, and come up right here. Square the hips off. Hug toward that center and stretch and lengthen up through the arms. Get long and tall in this pose. Feel your breath. And then we're going to bend the elbows and turn the chest a little more open. Deepen into that lunge. Feel into this back thigh, into your heart space. Take one more deep breath here. And then we're going to release hands back to the floor. Again, you could use a block here. We're going to shift forward into a balance, standing split. So you could take the fingertips to the floor, float the right leg up. Use blocks. Hands can be on your block or your canned goods if you have those lying around. Fold over the left leg if you're working with that version. Left hand and forearm behind the calf. Fold it in and extend this right leg up. Take another full breath here. And then you're going to step the right foot back and take your hand to the floor or a block underneath the shoulder. Hug that or draw that left hip back away from the knee and extend the left arm up. Strong through your back leg, and you can always ground that back knee. So keep everything pulled in tight toward that center. Push into the block or the floor with your right hand and open up into this twist. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you're doing this with me and not just watching me. Take another full breath here. And then bring the left hand back to the floor. You're going to step to plank pose. Shift the weight. Let me turn around again. Shift the weight into your left hand. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot for side plank, Savasana. Push into the ground with that left hand. Pull your hips up. You can always come down to the knee or the forearm. Let's stretch the right arm forward alongside the ear. And maybe pick up this leg. Feel your breath. Good, you guys, back to your plank pose. Come down to your knees a little wider. The left arm, we're reaching out and up and thread the needle. Coming into this twist. Take another breath here. And let's go ahead and unwind out of that. You guys stretch the left arm back up. Let's bring the hands back to the floor. Back to a downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. Lift up a little bit through the tail, your sits bones. And then bend your knees, look forward. We're going to step or hop the feet to the backs of the hands like this. Okay? And if you need to scoot back a little bit, you can. We're going to play around with Bakasana or crow pose. So you might just turn your feet out a little bit and start in Malasana, starting in this squat. You can also sit on a block here. So crow pose is an arm balance, and we're going to start by working the knees up above the elbows, okay, toward the triceps or even the armpits. And we'll look forward a little bit, shift the weight, transfer the weight from the feet into the hands, press into the floor with the pads of the fingers. Look forward, Uddiyana Bandha, lift at the belly. Maybe pick one or both feet off of the mat. Stay here for a couple breaths. You can step or hop your way back to your, try to run back. I'm going to go ahead and walk back. And then lower down as you exhale. Open up, cobra, sphinx or up dog, your heart opener of choice. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Let's lengthen the right leg back behind, reach it up. Bend the right leg. Try to keep hands, shoulder girdle, pretty stable here. Lift up the hips, so point your knee out to the side. You're not dumping into the shoulder or compromising the wrists or the shoulders here. Step the right foot through. We're going to turn the back heel flat, anchor the feet, come up into a warrior two position. So both feet really grounded and stable here to the floor, and keeping the spine upright. So notice if you're leaning forward, Maybe a little too eager in this pose. Back off, let the shoulders soften. It might even help to turn the palms up and allow the shoulders to soften away from the ears. Root down firmly through the feet. Take another breath here. And then we're going to take the arms down, clasp the hands behind the back, and open up a little bit here with the shoulders with the chest. Take a full breath here. Now you can keep it here or dive forward into ostrich pose. So the right shoulder to the knee or the inside of the knee. If this is too much, bring your hands down to the ground just to stabilize and to root. Take a couple more breaths here, everybody. Continue to draw the thighs back some. Grounded and stable feet. Really push through that back foot at the back of the mat. Let your head come down. Take one more breath here. And then come back to your upright position and extend back out through the arms. Now staying in your warrior two stance. Stay really solid through your legs, feet, and lower body. Wrap your right arm underneath your left. So coming into eagle, warrior, hybrid. So right knee as bent, centered over the ankle. Lift up a little bit through the fingertips and the forearms press forward. Breathe into those upper trapezius, that space right in between the shoulder blades. Take another strong breath here. And then unwind the arms, re-extend, reach back out. Straighten up this front leg. You might need to heel toe that back foot forward a little bit, setting up for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reach forward, lengthen, maintain that space. Right hand down to shin or a block. I like to place the block just to the outside of the ankle. And anchor down through the feet, reaching up through the left fingertips. Imagine your arms as one unit, from ground to ceiling. Fingertips to the ground, fingertips to the sky. Take another full breath here, everybody, opening up a little bit through the chest. And we're going to take the left hand to the left hip, look down at the floor, take the block with you if you'd like. We're coming into Ardha Chandrasana or half moon. So shift your weight forward into your right foot. Balancing here, hips open, extend the left arm up. For those of you that want a little extra challenge here, bend your left leg, reach back, and find your foot with the hand. So you're coming into this half bow. Wherever you are, make sure you're breathing. Take another expansive in-breath here. Release out of that. Bring the left hand down. Step the left foot to the back of your mat and come down to the knee. So left knee down. Both hands will go to the inside of the right foot. So we're just going to settle here in this low lunge for a few breaths. Arms can be straight, or you could come down to your forearms, go a little bit deeper. You can maybe take your forearms or your elbows to a block. You could choose to pick up this back knee, wrap the arm. If you're familiar with twig pose, you can work with an arm balance there. But mostly just breathe in and around this right hip. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And sending that last exhale out the mouth, let it release, let it cleanse. Make your way back up. Now we're going to walk the hands to the left and spin the feet so all 10 toes are facing the same direction. This is Prasarita Padottanasana, a wide straddle. So on your in-breath, let's walk the hands forward and lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, fold it in. You can have your hands on the floor, You can have your hands on blocks. You could even start to walk your hands through and bring the head down toward the floor. Take another full breath here, letting your head and your neck relax. And then walk your hands forward, coming to that halfway lift. Walk the hands back toward the top of your mat, so you're back into a lunge. Step to plank pose. Hold here. Your choice, chaturanga, or we can all meet up in downward facing dog. Okay, so take your time. You can move through that vinyasa or skip it. Good job, you guys. I'm feeling it for sure. Take another breath here. And then bend your knees, look forward, step or hop behind your wrists. Remember what we did? Crow pose. We're going to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to bring your feet together. Just come into a little squat. So I'm going to just mirror you here for a sec. So you're going to turn your, you're going to turn your knees a little bit to the right. Okay, and we're going to work with side crow, and if you're familiar with this, you can go into it, or if you would like to do regular crow, that's fine. So the right arm is going to reach up. You're going to try to bring your elbow out to the outside of your knee here, make a little shelf. And then the hands are going to come to the ground. It's okay if they're off of your mat. Now, lift your hips up, you guys, and see if you can walk your feet over to the side. And then what you're going to do is lean forward, kind of toward the diagonal, and see if you can pick up your feet here. Using your core, and then bring it back down. You need to reset and roll through your wrists. For a sec, you can do that. Okay. And to the other side. Okay, so now your knees are going to go a little bit to the left. And the left arm will stretch up. You're going to bring elbow to outside of knee and hook the knee on the top of the arm. Hands to the floor. And again, you're going to lift your hips up a little bit. Walk your feet out to the side. Lean forward toward that diagonal. Pick up your feet. Use your core. Take another breath here. And then release out of that. Woo! Shake it out. In fact, everybody just stand up and get your wiggles out. Maybe do a little bit of this. Good. Reach your arms up, lengthen. Let a sigh out your mouth and just let your arms relax. Do that again. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale. Good. Okay, back on the horse. Back to downward facing dog. So hands to the floor. We're going to skip that vinyasa this time. So as you come back to downward dog, take your left leg, reach it back behind you and up. Maintaining stability and structure in your shoulder girdle. Bend your left leg, lift the hip up. Okay, so I'm not dumping into this wrist or shoulder. Point the knee out to the side, feel your strength here. Step your left foot through, and you're going to come to a warrior two. I'm going to turn this direction. Warrior two. So take your time arriving here and feeling into the ground firmly through both feet, strong through your legs. Lift it up a little bit through your heart and through the crown. And again, if it helps you here, open up your palms. A little soft bend in your elbows. Take another spacious breath here, everybody. And then the arms are going to come down. Stay in your warrior two stance. Clasp your hands behind your back. Open up the shoulders and lift through the heart. And then as you exhale, go ahead and dive forward if you're working with this ostrich pose. The fingers can stay interlaced, or you can bring your hands down to the floor for a little more grounding and stability. Give this a couple more breaths. Feel into the ground with that right foot at the back of the mat. Continue to pull the thighs back, let your head go. And then come back up, strong and powerful through the legs. Come back up to warrior two. And then eagle warrior hybrid. So the left arm is going to go underneath your right. Palms come together. Lift up the elbows. And again, you can always come back to this version of the pose where you grab a hold of opposite shoulders. Okay, so take a couple more breaths here. Lifting up, pressing the shoulders or shoulder blades away from one another, lifting through the fingertips. Take another full breath here. And then unwind out of that. Re-extend the arms, straighten up the front leg. You might want to heel toe that back foot forward just a little bit, setting up for Utthita Trikonasana triangle pose. Push with your back foot, reach forward, lengthen, bring that left hand down, right arm up. Again, you might grab your block here. The block to the outside or the inside of the ankle, whatever feels best to you. And again, I want you to imagine this one unit from ground to ceiling, stacking the arms, and then as you push with your back foot, and lengthen forward through the crown of your head. Take 2 more breaths here in triangle pose, opening here through the chest. Good, and then we're going to take the right hand down to the hip, look down at the floor, and shift into your Ardha Chandrasana half moon pose. So you could take your block with you, send the right arm up. Make sure those left toes are pointing forward as you open up into this balance. And again, you could bend your top leg, grab the foot, open it up, coming into that half bow. Give this one more breath, everybody, as you open. Release out of that. And then step your right foot to the very back of the mat, come down to your back knee. You're going to bring both hands to the inside of the left foot for your low lunge. Arms can stay straight. You can bend, come down to your forearms, maybe take a block here. Back knee can stay down, or you can lift it up. Okay, so take a few more breaths here. If you prefer to wrap this arm underneath the leg, work into your twig pose, arm balance, you can work with that. That's what that is. But no pressure. Take 2 more breaths in this low lunge. And you're going to come back up, pick up your back knee, and then walk your hands to the right, spin the feet so all 10 toes face the same direction. So we're working with Prasarita Padottanasana. Lengthen again as you inhale, exhale, fold. So this time around, you can do a couple different variations. You can reach for your big toes. Take your peace fingers and reach around your big toes and draw the head down toward the floor like this. You could clasp your hands behind the back and work with this bind. Or if you can get your head to the floor and headstand is part of your practice, you could hold the back of your head with your hands, head and elbows root down, and you're going to start to shift your weight forward towards your head by lifting up through the heels of the feet, shoulders away from the ears. And as you do that, pull through your core. The feet will float up off of the mat in a straddle here, and then you can come into Shirshasana, headstand. That's obviously just an option after a couple breaths. Take the legs back out wide. And settle your feet down to the floor. Take one more breath here. Lengthen to that halfway lift. Walk your hands back toward the top of the mat. Step back to plank pose. And again, your choice, directly to down dog or lower down, chaturanga. Cobra, Sphinx, or up dog, heart opener of choice. Downward dog on your exhale. Good, and let's everybody just come to the knees here and sit back into a child's pose. And just take a moment here to ground and to rest, to feel the earth. Feel your breath moving into your back body, lower back, and softening through the neck and the jaw, the shoulders. Good. So you're going to come back up to your hands and your knees, and we're going to set up for Dolphin. And not only are we going to set up for Dolphin, we are going to do a 3-minute Dolphin. So, and you know why? Because we can do hard things, y'all. We're going to do it. And if you happen to know the Dolphin song, the Ingrid Michaelson, The Chain, you can play that on your own. I'll try to time us here with the clock. I'm going to turn this way. I'll do it too, so you won't complain. All right? So come down to your hands and your knees. You'll drop down to your forearms, so elbows and forearms to the floor. If you need to measure that distance, grab a hold of opposite biceps. That will place your elbows about shoulder width apart. Place the forearms back to the floor. So you can either have the forearms parallel like this, make sure the elbows don't go wider than the shoulders. You could always clasp your hands or use a block to kind of arrange this, placing the block between the thumb and the first finger, like this. Okay, so set it up. On your mark, get set, and go. Pick up your knees, and your knees can be a little bit bent. This may not be exactly 3 minutes, you guys, because I don't really have a timer, but we're going to do our best. You can tiptoe forward a little bit. You can tiptoe out a little bit wider. So the invitation here, you guys, is to breathe. And to breathe through challenge, to breathe through maybe some insecurity, some discomfort, some angst, certainly not to the point of injury or strain, but I'd also really invite you to challenge yourself and feel into each and every breath. At the bottom of your exhale, lift through the belly, Uddiyana Bandha. So you can really use your core to support you and not take this all into the neck and into the shoulders. And see if you might elongate each in-breath and release completely each out-breath. And if you need to come to your knees, that's fine, but see if you can come back into it as you're ready. And to switch things up a little bit, you might take the right leg up into the air. Lengthen and reach through the toes. And you can even pick up this left heel and do a little hop if you want to work with that. Take one more breath here. You're going to bring that right foot back to the floor if you're working with that version. And switch, so the left leg will reach up. Breathe here. And lengthen. You can even pick up this right heel. Maybe do a little hop toward forearm stand. And then take your foot back down. Dig deep, you guys, we're getting there. Feel into each breath. Maybe take your feet wider. So we'll bend in the knees. Really pull the pelvis up and back. Tailbone lifts. Maybe send a sigh or two out of your mouth. You can stick your tongue out, little lion's breath. Good. So I'm not sure if this has been 3 minutes or not. I think it's been pretty close. Why don't we take like 5 more breaths? And if you've been in child's pose, I invite you to come back into dolphin for 5 more deep breaths. Good, you guys. I'm so proud of you. Come down to your knees and rest. Sit on back. You can take your arms back into an embryo or keep them forward in a child's pose. And will you take one more breath here in your child's pose? And then you're going to come back up to the hands and the knees and come all the way down to your belly. Take your arms back along your sides. And your next in-breath, let's go ahead and lift arms and legs up away from the floor, little locust pose. Put a slight bend in your elbows. Activate through the feet, squeeze, pull shoulder blades toward one another and open and lift up through the heart. Take one more breath here. And release back down. Stretch your right arm straight out to the right, so fingertips toward the right wall. Left hand comes to the floor with the elbow pointing up, coming into a shoulder pigeon. So turn the body so you're coming over towards your right hip. You can point the left knee up or tuck your knees in into a little fetal position. But just feeling the ground and opening up into the front of this right shoulder. Then back to your belly. And let's take one more locust pose. Arms go back along your sides. And you can lift up same way we did, or maybe this time you clasp your hands and maybe suction cup your palms together and open up into more of a shoulder stretch. And keep breathing here, everybody, opening, lifting through the chest, through the heart. And exhale, release. Left arm stretches straight out to the left. Right hand to the floor. And gently press on over to your shoulder pigeon. Again, you can be more of a fetal position here, or point that right knee up and breathe. Take one more breath here. And then you'll just come back to the belly, hands to the floor, next to the midribs. Press up to your hands and your knees. And I invite you to make your way onto your backs here. So you can take the legs out front. Come onto your backs and hug the knees in toward the chest. You might rock a little bit, side to side. And bring your left foot to the ground and cross your outer right ankle over top your left leg for a figure 4 stretch. You can keep it here, or you could pick up this left foot, reach your hands around your left leg, And guide the legs a little bit closer to you. Soft through the neck and through the jaw. Stable, solid ground underneath you. A couple more breaths here. Release out of that. You're going to uncross the legs, pull your knees back together, and let both knees drop to your left for a spinal twist. Stretch your right arm out to the right. Maybe turn your head to your right if that's okay for your neck. 5 deep breaths here. Bring the knees back through center, and we'll plant now the right foot to the ground, cross the left ankle, outer ankle up and over the right leg, the right knee. Maybe pick up this right foot, reach your hands through, and hug in. Feeling into your breath. Keep your neck and your jaw and your shoulders relaxed. And take one more breath here. We're going to release out of that. Uncross your legs, pull your knees in, and drop both knees to your right. Send your left arm out to the left, and maybe turn your head to your left for your spinal twist. And take one more breath here. Guide the knees back together, hug in, and then stretch the legs out to the floor, and reach the arms up and back and lengthen from top to bottom, reaching through the fingertips and the tips of your toes. Take a breath, and then exhale. Relax your arms down along your sides with the palms open. If you need to adjust a little bit, you can. We're moving into Savasana, corpse pose, a place of grounding and surrender. So if it would feel best to you to modify, to come put your legs up a wall or put something underneath your knees, you can work with that. And as you settle into Savasana, I'm just going to read a little something to you that someone very dear to me shared with me this week, and it really resonated, and I would love to share it with you as we finish our practice together this morning. Live in the spirit of community and compassion during this time of uncertainty and struggle. So get comfy. This is an excerpt from a woman named Ira Byock, who wrote "The Best Care Possible, a Physician's Quest to Transform Care Through the End of Life." Years ago, anthropologist Margaret Mead was asked by a student what she considered to be the first sign of civilization in a culture. The student expected Mead to talk about fish hooks or clay pots or grinding stones. But no. Mead said that the first sign of civilization in a culture was a femur, thigh bone, that had been broken and then healed. Mead explained that in the animal kingdom, if you break your leg, you die. You cannot run from danger, get to the river for a drink, or hunt for food. You are meat for prowling beasts. No animal survives a broken leg long enough for the bone to heal. A broken femur that has healed is evidence that someone has taken time to stay with the one that fell, has bound up the wound, has carried the person to safety, and has tended the person through recovery. Helping someone else through difficulty is where civilization starts, Mead said. We are at our best when we serve others. Will you begin here to expand your breath and open up the senses? And certainly if it's best for you to stay in Savasana, by all means, you can stay there as long as you like. As you're ready, let's make our way over to one side, fetal position. And then, as gently as you're able, make your way back up to your seat on your mat or on your block, your bolster. On your next in-breath, let's go ahead and extend the arms out wide, reach up tall. And touch the palms together and bring the hands back together at the heart. It's difficult to express my gratitude to you all for joining me this morning on Facebook Live at 21st Yoga for this practice. And just to remember that we are at our best when we serve others. We'll finish with one round of Om. Take a full breath in. Om. Namaste.